Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings for Monday, August 20th. We have 10 games tonight on Monday's main slate. We have a pitching slate that I would say somewhat decent, I guess. The top options are not in the greatest spots. We have Garrett Cole facing the Mariners, Corey Kluber has to face the Red Sox, and Rick Porcello has to face the Indians. Those are our three pitchers over 10K. I feel like a lot of these guys, pretty much all three of them, are going to be pretty low owned today. I don't feel like any of these three guys are going to be people's first choice when it comes to who they're going to play just in their lineups. I feel like all of them are going to go under owned today. I'm not a big fan of any of these three guys, Cole, Kluber, or Porcello. Just don't really like the matchups, and I don't know if the upside's there in their matchups. But you're getting discounts on some guys like Kluber and Porcello. Not really Porcello, but definitely Kluber at 11K. That's pretty cheap of a price tag for Kluber, but he is facing the Red Sox. Don't know if the upside's really there in that matchup. I feel like the mid-tier is where a lot of people are going to focus today. We got Zach Wheeler against the Giants, really like that. Derek Holland's facing the Mets team that really struggles against lefties. Holland could be playable today. Chris Archer pitching at home against the Braves. Maybe people will go to it 7,800. Kevin Gausman in that same game, 7,100. Marco Estrada's facing the Orioles. 6,800. I feel like these are kind of the guys we're going to really focus on today. Not really looking to the top options at pitcher. Going to be focused more on the mid-tier. We'll talk about some of the pitchers I like. We'll go through the bats as well. Talk about the batters that I'm targeting. Some stacks I like. Talk about BVP plays as well. But before we do get started, guys, make sure you drop a like on the video. I would definitely appreciate it. If you are new to the channel and you have not subscribed yet, make sure you click that subscribe button down below. Really means a lot. I really appreciate it. But yeah, this pitching slate, these top three options, Cole, Kluber, Porcello, I'm not going to be very heavy on at all. If I make multiple tournament lineups today, which I probably will, I might throw like maybe Cole in one or Kluber in one, but these guys are not going to be a priority for me. I'm looking to the mid-tier where Zach Wheeler just really stands out today at 9,300. He's probably my favorite pitcher on this slate, factoring in price. I think Wheeler has a ton of upside in this matchup. This Giants team is not good. They strike out a lot. It's a good pitcher's park. Wheeler just has a lot of good things going for him today. And he's also 9,300, which is a pretty fair price for Zach Wheeler. This guy's been great lately. His last start against Baltimore, a lot of people played him, including myself. Kind of disappointed with 14.5 DraftKings points. Maybe Wheeler comes somewhat low owned today since he burned a lot of people in his last start. I like him here. I think he can easily get 25 to 30 DraftKings points. Could possibly be one of the highest scoring pitchers on this slate, if not the top scoring pitcher. I just think Wheeler has a lot of upside at 9,300. And then SP2, I mentioned some of the guys that stuck out to me. I like Derek Holland, 8,100 in that same game. I feel like this Mets-Giants game is going to be pretty low scoring. Could be somewhat of a pitcher's duel, so if you want to play Holland, I think he makes some sense. Chris Archer in tournaments I really like at 7,800. Even though the Braves don't strike out a lot, Archer can get swings and misses just against any team. He can strike guys out. I think Archer has upside at his price, but definitely like Kevin Gausman here, 7,100 versus the Pirates. I think Gausman has some upside in this matchup. Gausman's going to be a guy that I play a lot just rest of season, especially if the matchup is right and the price tag is right. This isn't the greatest matchup, but the price tag is a main reason why I like Gausman at 7,100 against the Pirates. I think Gausman can pay off this price tag. He can easily get 20 to 25 DraftKings points in this matchup. There are some strikeouts in this matchup, especially when you get to the bottom of the lineup. It's a good pitcher's park. Gausman's in the National League, which is going to help him out a ton. He's definitely been sort of up and down with the Braves this year. He's had one really good start against the Brewers. Against the Mets, he struggled. Against Miami, he did somewhat decent. I feel like this is going to be one of those games where Gausman can easily go 6 to 7 innings with 6, 7, 8 strikeouts possibly, and definitely pay off this price tag. So I really like him as an SP2 to pair with Zach Wheeler. That still leaves you 4,200 remaining per player for your hitters. Can really fit in some expensive bats if you go with Wheeler and Gausman. But those are my favorite two pitchers on this slate, I would say. Looking at other pitchers, though, I mentioned Estrada as a value play. If you want to play Estrada, I don't think Estrada's very good, but he's cheap and he's facing a very bad Orioles team. So at 6,800, you could go to Estrada down here in this value range. Sub 5K, there isn't much that I really like, just value-wise. I don't think I'm going to be playing any of these cheap arms, so let's go ahead and talk about some of the bats that I like today. Third base, absolutely love the Brewers today versus Homer Bailey, so I like Mike Moustakas at third base. He's pretty reasonably priced at 4,600. For this matchup, I think Moustakas has a ton of upside, and I think this Brewers team in general has a lot of upside. They got a 5.3 implied run total, which is definitely one of the highest on this slate. This Brewers team's just so good, has so much power in their lineup. They've got speed at the top as well. Yelich, Kane, Moustakas, Braun, Shaw. I think all these guys are playable today, and I think a Brewers stack is going to be a pretty heavy focus for me. Love Moustakas here. Also, really like Christian Yelich. He's another one of my 5 plays. Christian Yelich, I feel like, is going to go overlooked today, especially with him being 5,100. You look at some of the other guys at the top of this price range. You got Chris Davis against Gallardo, who a lot of people are probably going to look to, 5K. You got guys like Rosario, who I do like today, 4,800. Rosario is probably going to come in higher owned than Christian Yelich is. Chris Davis might come in higher owned. A lot of people I feel like are going to overlook Yelich at this price tag, but it's a great spot for Christian Yelich. This dude has so much power. He's shown power this year, something we haven't seen in the past, especially when he was with the Marlins. The homers weren't really there for Yelich, but getting traded to the Brewers, playing in Miller Park a lot, has helped Yelich when it comes to power. He's got 19 homers on the year. The dude's just a good hitter. He puts the ball in play. He's got some speed. If he gets on base, he will steal bases. Yelich just has a lot of upside in general, and I love him here at 5,100. Definitely one of my favorite spins on this slate if I can fit in an expensive bat. Christian Yelich, kind of going to be a priority for me. Then my last guy, I did mention Eddie Rosario. The Twins are another team I love today versus Giolito. Eddie Rosario, great play on this slate, 4,800 versus Giolito. Giolito's really struggled with lefties this year, struggled with lefties that have power. He's given up a lot of home runs to lefties. Rosario is just that. He's a lefty with power, 21 homers on the year. Just a great spot for Rosario, a great spot for the Twins. They also have a very high implied run total for today, 5.4 runs. You look at this lineup for the Twins, they got a lot of power at the top. Rosario, Polanco, Sano, Kepler. That 2 through 5 I really like as a stack today. Joe Mauer, I guess you could stack Joe Mauer, but not a guy I'm really prioritizing. It's a 2 through 5 that I really like, especially like Rosario and Kepler. Love Max Kepler today if you're looking for a value play in the outfield, 3,900. Pretty good chance he can take Giolito deep. But Rosario, 4,800 in the outfield, great play in my opinion. But yeah, guys, these are my 5 plays for today. Zach Wheeler, Kevin Gausman, Mike Moustakas, Christian Yelich, and Eddie Rosario. Now we'll go over some stacks and BVP plays. Stacks that I like, it's the Twins, it's the Brewers. Those are the 2 teams I am really focused on today. I see the Brewers are probably my favorite, but the Twins, I'm definitely going to have a lot of exposure to as well. Gallardo should be pitching for the Rangers. He's going to be pitching in a good pitcher's park. He's facing Oakland, but Oakland's been so hot lately. I think guys like Chapman, Lowry, Davis, Olsen, that 2 through 5 I do like for the Athletics if you want to play them versus Gallardo. Fantasy Labs has Cologne pitching, but I thought Cologne pitched on Saturday or Sunday. He shouldn't be pitching today. I think Gallardo's going to be pitching for the Rangers, so you could definitely consider some of these A's bats versus Gallardo. Obviously, the Brewers I love, the Twins I love. But other than those teams, those are really the teams I'm focused on. I think some one-offs from the Blue Jays make sense. Maybe like a little mini stack with like Granderson, Smoke, Grichuk, I guess. If Grichuk's in the lineup, you could play him. I do like Granderson today. I do like Smoke. And if Grichuk's in the lineup, you could play him. You got Travis at 3,400. If you need value, don't mind a little mini stack from the Blue Jays. But like I said, my main focus for stacks is the Twins and the Brewers, maybe some A's as well. But now moving on to BVP plays. We do have a lot of BVP plays for a 10-game slate. If you do want to look at all of them, you can pause the video here, but I would just be covering the ones with a decent sample size. So we'll start off with Melky Cabrera. He's gone 15 for 28 with a home run versus Rick Porcello. Jason Kipnis gone 10 for 31 with a home run versus Porcello. Ryan Braun gone 17 for 50 with 4 home runs versus Homer Bailey. Braun probably your top BVP play on this slate if you are into BVP. Elvis Andrus gone 7 for 20 with 2 home runs versus Mike Fiers. Adrian Beltre 7 for 19 with a home run versus Fiers. Rougned Odor 5 for 19 with 2 home runs versus Mike Fiers. George Springer gone 6 for 19 with a home run versus Felix Hernandez. Marlon Gonzalez 6 for 18 with a home run. And Carlos Correa 5 for 11 with a home run versus Felix Hernandez. And then lastly, Denard Span. He's gone 6 for 18 with a home run versus Garrett Cole. But yeah, guys, that's it for BVP. I talked about my stacks. These are my 5 plays for today. So I think that is it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video, and hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed the video, always appreciate it if you guys would give the vid a like. If you have not subscribed yet, like I mentioned at the beginning, make sure you do click that subscribe button down below, so that way you won't miss out on any of my new videos. And if you do have any questions, you can always hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT, or feel free to leave a comment down below, and I will get back to you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And good luck tonight on this 10-game slate. Peace.